Well, folks, we're back in the garden again today. I'm going to continue on with my raised bed that I'm building for my tomato plants for next spring. The last time we were out here, I went ahead and put up the supports in the back, and I built up the back of my bed. Just to quickly update, there's the pieces that I put on the sides. My beds are in fact 5.5 inches in the front and about 12 inches in the back, and they're filled with leaf mulch. And I'm going to go ahead and build up the back of the bed. And in the front of the bed, seeing as that we have here in Carolina, we have some growing season that continues on late into the early part of the winter. I'm going to be putting greens in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and be using these beds for two purposes. The tomato plants next year, and I'll be growing greens in the front of the bed this year. So the first thing I'm going to do is build up the back of that bed. What I want to show you is this is where I harvest my leaves from. And I free range my chickens. I let them out early afternoon for about 4 or 5 hours, and they go out here and they mill around and they forage back here, taking insects out. And you can see how they've kicked things around out here, and what they actually wind up doing is breaking down the size of the leaf particle. They've been out here, I would say, for maybe a week or two, rummaging around, pulling out insects. And I find that to be very beneficial. It certainly makes it easier for me to rake up the leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and rake up a pile of these leaves. Get this pile together. Throw them into the back of my, or into the wheelbarrow. And we'll fill up this barrel and many more and take them to the garden. Well, there's my first pile of leaves, and I would say that I probably need 7 or 8 more to complete what I started here. So there we have the first layer of leaf mulch put into the bed. By the way, these beds, last summer I had cucumbers, squash growing in here profusely. Just on the leaf mulch that's in the beds now. Of course, it's settled. You have to expect that as organic things decompose, they're going to keep dropping down in density. And so this will all drop down again. All my beds were up to the top. They're down about 2.5 to 3 inches at this time over the summer. And that's just a normal thing you have to look forward. The next part of my process is to put in compost tea on the top of this pile of leaves that I've spread out. Now I can't find the handle or the nozzle to my watering can, so I just got to make do with what I got. So I would rather have a finer spray on this, but this is okay. I'm going to just water this all the way on down with compost tea. You can already see that the leaves are dropping down in density. And I'll just keep on going with this. The next part is to rake up a pile of leaves and wood chips. It's old old heavy leaves that have been laying here and wood chips to put on the top of that layer of leaves that I put in the garden. And this should hold the moisture in the ground a lot better than just the leaves. That's my layer of wood chips and heavy leaves. I got holly trees out here, and you know what? I hate them. They're always stabbing me, and I never did anything wrong to them. So I guess it just goes with the territory. So I'll continue on all the way on down doing this. Well, I completed putting in the wood chips on that area, so that whole back piece is completed. Now to do this front section, because I'm going to do this different due to the fact that I'll be growing greens in here, collards, probably some cabbage and stuff in the spring. So on to the next part of it. Now I'm bringing in my aged compost. This is a combination of leaves, This is a combination of leaves and some chicken manure. It's been aging now, so I'm going to say maybe 4 months. And as you can see, it really breaks down very well. And I'm going to put that in the front part of this bed. Well, there it is, the completed bed. The back will have the tomatoes in the spring. In the front, I'll be growing greens. And I'll be growing greens even in the spring. And then as the tomatoes mature and start to move out this direction here, I'll reduce my plantings in the front. But this looks pretty good to me. Now the next step I'm going to do here is to water this. I have little emitter sprays here that I'm going to keep this wet, get this nice and saturated with moisture. And for decomposition, you need oxygen and moisture, and of course an organic matter. But we'll go ahead and turn on these emitters. Next year I will have, after I plant my tomatoes, I will run a drip line with emitters just for the plants themselves. Now, unfortunately, I have to do a lot of watering here because the temperatures get up towards the second week of June, get up into the 90s, and then they can be relentless all the way through August. And so that's one of the disadvantages of growing in the south, even though I think there's many, many more pluses. So you have a good day, and I'll be showing you in the near future here the plantings that I put in the front of this bed.